My name is Elsie Wu, and I'm here to talk about money. Are you able to hear me? Yep. Okay. So I mentioned I'm here to talk about money, and this is not a new source of money. This is something that you may have heard on CNN, on National Public Radio, NPR, in the recent months. And this is what people are doing now to address the fact that there is no funding from the banks. So not only is there no funding from the banks, but for the money that's sitting on the sideline, they're looking for a high rate of return. So the investors that I speak to on a regular basis, they're asking for 14 to 16% unleveraged return, and that's really difficult to achieve. So there is a type of funding that has been around for about 12 years, and many states have done it, but no one in New Mexico has done it. So we have actually put together an effort to bring this together and offer it to the rural communities. And what this is called EB5. It's sponsored by the U.S. Homeland Security. For $1 million per investor to a non-U.S. citizen, they get, if they can create 10 jobs for at least 5 years, and it's a sustaining job, they get a green card for the family. They don't have to live here. And I mentioned earlier that this is approved by the Homeland Security. This has been done in Vermont. It's been done in California, in Washington, Idaho, South Dakota. A lot of states are already using it. No one that we know of is doing it in New Mexico. So it needs to create 10 sustaining jobs. It cannot be construction jobs, but it needs to be something that, for example, lasts at least 2 years, and preferably 5 years, and we need to track those jobs. So once those jobs are created, we report it to the Homeland Security, and they in turn offer the green card to the family. And 5 years later, the investors get their money back. Okay? So these are all foreign investors, and some of them may not know about New Mexico. So how do we overcome that? And why do people want to invest in the U.S.? A lot of people are hearing about the trouble with the commercial real estate market. So we actually did a lot of research trying to find out, do people still want to invest in the U.S. given what's going on in the economy? And to our surprise, we found out that they do want to invest in the U.S. How many people know that people in Mexico, rich people in Mexico, are worried about their lives, right? About their kids' lives. So they want a way to come to the U.S. Asians love their kids to go to the Ivy League schools. There's still a lot of people who want to give their kids the freedom and the white picket fence. Okay? So the great news for us here is that it actually gets better for the rural community. How does it get better for the rural community? Well, the investment level is actually not $1 million per investor. It's $500,000 per investor. And the Canadian government actually just in the last 30 days changed the investment level. So instead of $400,000 per Canadian citizenship, it's $800,000. So if you're at $500,000, you can attract those non-U.S. citizens. And the money has to be at risk, so it cannot be a loan, and they expect a lower level of return on investment. Because what they're looking for is green card for the family. They're looking for return of principal. They're not looking for 14 to 16% return. So what we're doing, we're in the process of formalizing a company. What we're doing is we're trying to do all the brain-dead paperwork up front for New Mexico, because we had to get U.S. Homeland Security approval. We had to get a lot of paperwork done in advance. So we can bring this to the rural communities here, and I want to give you some ideas of what other communities are doing. Actually in Idaho, they just got commitment for 120 investors for $60 million for gold mine. And those $60 million will be coming from Chinese investors who love gold. Okay? There's a project, there's a very successful project in Washington State, in a small community. They've been trying to do assisted living. No banks wanted to talk to them. And so they took the effort to China, and now they're on their third assisted living project and selling out. Manufacturing also doing very well in some of these other locations that have successfully raised money. So we're trying to figure out how do we bring it to New Mexico. And to qualify for this funding, we ask that the projects, the owners have to have some proven track record. We have to be tracking jobs and reporting to the Homeland Security. And then we have to give the investors their funding back. Now, many of you know, when you talk to people outside of New Mexico, they'll go, where is New Mexico? Okay? And these foreign investors are the same way. But the good thing is they don't have to live in New Mexico. They can just give us their money, and they can live in California, live in Florida, and we put our money to use to create jobs. So the full cycle is that the investors bring us their money into New Mexico. We create the jobs. The U.S. Homeland Security approves it. They get their green card for the family, and we give them their money back. And a little bit of profit. We don't have to give them a lot, but we give them a little bit of profit. So if you have any questions, vote for us on your little sheet, and then we'll go into more details tomorrow. Thank you.